really remember when I said I forgot. Sorry, I did not mean that. I tried to run away from love at the end of the night. I need somebody. Hello. Hello, you all, and welcome to the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. I'm your guide, Desi Lou, and tonight we talk with China about the art of reclaiming self and coming out of narcissistic relationships as well. So I hope you're ready to enjoy yourself. Welcome in. If this is your first time to the Immersive Experience, you could go ahead and like and subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Immersive Experience, a podcast, and also on YouTube if you're watching us on Facebook, the Immersive Experience, a podcast as well. All right, tonight we are honored to welcome an incredible woman, China, who embodies strength and resilience in the face of adversity. China is not just a survivor, she is a testament to power of the human spirit. Having endured the challenges of a narcissistic relationship, she has emerged with a story that needs to be heard. As a devoted mother, China balances her responsibilities with grace while pursuing her education and building her own business as an entrepreneur. Her journey hasn't been easy, but her experience as a veteran has instilled in her a profound sense of tenacity and courage. China's life has been marked by hardships, yet she stands before us, a beacon of hope for others. Welcome to the Immersive Experience, China. I'm so happy to have you. Of course, we've always had you in our panel, but we've never had you, one-on-one, up close and personal.
We've never did a one-on-one with your girl, Chinna V. You know how I get down, y'all. So
yes, absolutely. Hello, hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How y'all feel? Welcome in. Welcome.
Come on in. Yes. Come on in. Look at my crew over there. Okay, I see y'all. Bloop, bloop,
bloop. Y'all definitely okay. What's Period. Up? How you doing, Pinky? How you feeling? How you feel? And
hey, Pinky.
Okay.
There go Key 20, Dante. Hey, y'all.
Okay. Hello, Key 20, Dante. All y'all. Okay. Welcome. So, yes, tonight we are speaking with Miss China about some of the narcissistic relationships that she's had and endured. Also, not just that, her healing journey, also her entrepreneurship, bettering herself, coming out of those relationships. So we won't just stay stuck in the past because, as you know, I'm all about self-development. So, of course, we're going to get down to the development of self. I hope you're ready.
Always.
I got some
You got to do some
love.
type of shadow work, some type of development going on, right? Because that's what it's always about, that self-development, guys.
I like that. I know that's right. So, all right, China, I am going to go ahead and just ask you my first question.
Okay.
And that one is, can you share your experience with narcissistic relationships and how they have affected you?
Oh, my gosh. I can say that I was married. Everybody, if you guys know, if you follow us, you know that I always talk about how I was married for 10 years. And I didn't really notice the pattern of narcissism at first. You know, going through your marriage at first, you're like, okay, it'll get better. You asking people like, oh, people that's been married for like years at a time, 20, 30 years, they're like, oh, it takes that first 5 years.
My sister has.
Then they be like, okay, well, the first 5 years, we're going to get on it. 5 years come, ain't shit, nothing changed. What's going on here? It's, you're compromising, but they're not compromising. You put on your all. It's almost like you're dating. You're married to yourself.
Yeah.
So you giving and you giving and you pouring and you pouring and you pouring, but you ain't receiving nothing. Then here's another. They're like, okay, wait. It's that you're 9. That's when it's gonna be it. That's that 9th year.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you really gonna know each other. Year 9 came and it was like, this ain't it. This just ain't it. 9, 10. How many more years am I gonna be stuck in something that just ain't healthy? Something that just ain't pouring life into me. It's sucking me dry. It's killing my environment. I'm killing my environment because I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. and everything that's negative that's pouring into me, I'm pouring back out into the world. It's affecting my job, it's affecting my relationships with friends, it's affecting family, relationships. So when is it time for us to just cut ties to be happy with our own selves?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how my story was, like trying to please somebody else and walking on eggshells every morning, not to say the wrong thing, and just to make sure that they're happy, that I forgot about what makes me happy in the end, what makes China, how, when I'm gonna put myself first, because I'm putting the family first, I'm putting my job first, putting him first. I ain't got no more branches to put first. I ain't got no more branches to give out. So when am I gonna start living for China? So
I feel that. No, listen, because I was listening to you while you were talking, of course. Although my eyes be everywhere, but it take me to turn this way to really hear you because I'm deaf.
Gotcha.
So like that's why I'm like, this how you know I'm listening. But I want to ask you, was there any point in your relationship with your husband that you ever felt like you did know him? You did, like you did.
I felt like I knew him. What he showed me is what I knew.
Right.
So I knew, what made him happy. I knew what not to say to keep peace. Mm-hmm. So I knew exactly who I was married to. It just didn't fit me as a person. It just wasn't. We have explosions going on here. Okay.
I would have to. I would hold on, y'all. One moment. I want us to flip this because I want them to see you more, and I want to make sure that this is going to be.
They not even going.
Oh no, you're not. I thought I met you on that one. Mute, baby. There we go. Okay. You think this will be better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I do apologize. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all holding for us. So, all right, perfect. So you stated that you knew him. You understood that he wasn't a fit for you. You understood that he wasn't he had love, but he didn't have the love that you were looking for.
Right.
Why did you, what year? Let me ask, before I ask why you stayed, what year did you know that it wasn't for you? Year 5, year 2, year 10?
I knew like year maybe 2 or 3 that this wasn't it.
Okay.
Honestly, I knew right off the back, but like I said, I always went, you fight for something that you, even though it's probably not healthy for you, you fight for it because it's something that you want.
Yeah.
First marriage, and had a child early. So why not fight for the family?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I got, information from people that's been married 20, 30 years. Stay in there, girl. Fight for it, girl. But sometimes, how old people, not old people, y'all. Not old people. Let me rephrase.
Old people. She said
back
what she
in the
said.
day type folk. How back in the day type folk, y'all, they kept a lot of stuff to themselves. They don't tell you exactly what they went through in their marriages because it was the wives were seen and not heard. Things that was actually in the marriages or in the household stayed in the household. You can talk about it. Mm-hmm. So that's why they have all of these long-lasting relationships. Also, got to think about women didn't work like how the women of today's time worked.
They didn't.
So that's why a lot of women, I believe, truly stayed in those toxic environment ways of marriage because they didn't have no other choice financially. And it was best for them to stay in something that was basically unhealthy for themselves and
you think kids. You embodied that unhealthy characteristic?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
How not?
I don't think I embodied that unhealthy characteristic at all. At all. You said I am. I'm getting the question wrong.
I don't know. Did you embody that unhealthy characteristic? You said that this is what you were taught to stick it out, even if it was bad.
No,
Because it could
I
be
didn't
something.
embody it because I didn't embody it.
Year 2.
Year 2, I knew it was time to go, y'all.
Year
I ain't
10.
gonna lie.
It took year 10.
It took year 10, and it actually took my baby to tell me to leave.
That's crazy.
It took his daughter. It took her to tell me to leave. Actually,
Y'all kids be watching. I promise.
She does. You know they do. Even though we try to hide from them, you know your kids get tired of hearing certain things, seeing certain things, and I left and didn't look back. Actually, I actually enjoyed the peace that I found. I actually was able to live again because I was dying in that marriage. Even though I put on a fake front for everybody, a fake smile for everybody, I was dying inside. I wanted to be happy so bad, and I just wasn't getting it in that at all.
What was preventing you from being happy?
Myself. I say myself because I stayed in something that I knew when it was time to go 8 years ago. Like it was time to go, and I stayed in there. And I only didn't endure the pain, but my kids that weren't his as well endured the pain of, said relationship. It affected everybody.
It do. I agree with that. Now, I want to ask, what was the final straw? What allowed you to leave?
It was the kids. It was the relationship he didn't have with the kids that wasn't his.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was like, and basically that was really the blended families are very hard. Blended families are, is really and truly like, it's like it is or it ain't. There's no, you know what I mean? Because if they don't rock with your kids, they need to go.
Was he ever working with your kids?
In the beginning.
Okay.
In the beginning. It wasn't until after I had Elise that I saw the separation that when he had his own child. Mm-hmm. That's when I saw the separation that he did with Elise, with the other two girls.
Oh,
with India and
Caleb. A clear picture.
So so he didn't have no kids of his own.
Right.
So finally got one. It was kind of like he was separating the kids from being real sisters,
mm-hmm.
like not being able to play with her or trying to keep them separate and certain things. It was like very much so.
Got you.
And that was what I went to the old school people, mm-hmm. and asking them, hey, because some of them were blended families, and they was like, work with it, because after them kids is gone, it's just gonna be you in the house. So it's just gonna be you and your husband. But do you really want that? I mean, I want my kids to come home for Christmas.
Did your children ever talk about their feelings? Did they ever tell you?
All the time. He used the scare tactic towards them so they wouldn't actually talk, mm-hmm. about how they felt, or they kept a lot of things to themselves or away from me, because I was active duty military, so, and mm-hmm. I was stationed at Fort Riley. That was after Fort Sill. So I was stationed at Fort Sill, and I was on staff duty almost 2 or 3 times every week. So I never really saw my kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I saw them, but I was up 24 hours, 48 hours a day. Like, it was like I was always gone consistently. So when it would tell me something and I'll like confront him or ask him about it, it was almost like I was put in the middle. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not really knowing what's going on, or what's this, that, and the other, because they saying this and he's saying that, and it's just like it was just horrible. It was horrible. So when I got out of the military, I kind of started seeing things for myself.
Okay. Now, have you ever had to deal with any other narcissistic relationships? Was just this one-time thing?
Mm-mm.
Or this was a pattern for you?
It's like a pattern. was almost like a pattern.
Okay.
Um, that's why when I talk to people about their relationships, and I tell them, when you see something the first time, believe them.
Okay.
Just because,
Hey.
just because they're not doing it to you now, don't mean they won't do it to you later.
Right.
And I had to experience that with a friend, with the old ex friend that, oh gosh, she did me so dirty. So last year, I basically lost a marriage and a best friend. Mm-hmm. It was like 2 funerals. I was basically with her for 8 years. And, you know, I saw certain characteristics of her, you know, that I didn't like. But I was like, because we were so close. Oh, thank you, Nunu. But we were so close to the point where I didn't think she would ever cross me the way that she crossed me, y'all. Like, that girl did me dirty. And and if you follow the page, you guys, y'all know certain things I talked about her, you know. But I don't really want to get into her because I don't. It's like I don't want to reopen that energy.
Okay.
Just because she doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
unless you want to talk about, unless you want to put it all out there, we can put it all out there.
I mean, I'm all for the truth being told. Like,
you can put it all out there.
You know me.
We can put it all
China,
out there.
I'm gonna ask that you act like you know me tonight.
Okay. Period.
Know me. Know me. So, but I do, because there's a lot of things that we're on. There's a lot of things that you have possibly allowed to happen to become a victim of another situation that was just like the one that you were in. Can I ask you something before we go any further? Is when did you find your voice?
This year.
This year.
I found my voice this year. I actually started figuring out what made Chinna. Mm-hmm. And I started actually when I met you.
Me?
When I met Desiree, y'all. And I already had a voice. Mm-hmm. I will say that. But it wasn't the voice that was of reason and sound. It was a voice of anger, hurt, acting out on emotions. For sure. It was making bad decisions just because somebody did this, revenge, you know. So it was definitely I found my voice this year. I definitely I'm very thankful for where I am now. And Desiree basically was like, girl, if you don't put them people where they belong,
y'all better
put them people where they belong.
You have to.
Because
they're gonna walk over you every single time.
Every time. When you give somebody a little bit of grace, they're gonna show you, and they're gonna take that little bit and they're gonna take an inch in the mile. And then it ain't gonna be nothing else to give that person. You know, that person done did you so dirty to the point you like, I didn't see this coming. Yes, you did.
Okay. And y'all know how I'm coming.
You did.
You know how you saw it. If she did it to her husband, you next. To like, I believe that, because that's something that I had to learn, and this is what humbleness is to me. To not put myself above anybody.
Right.
But it's not to act like I'm not as talented as I am, or I'm not as whatever it is that I'm bringing to the table, because this is not about me. It's about you. And what I'm saying is, and that's what I am. That's how I am. I can put myself on the shelf whenever it's time for me to put myself on the shelf, because I don't have to move out of my emotions. I don't have to move out of my feelings. And that's something that you stated that you had to learn as well.
I definitely acted on emotions. And I had to learn how to be still sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes even in the Bible it tells us to be still. Because you can't hear if you ain't. How can you hear what God has in store for you if you keep moving on your own? So you got to just shut up. Be still. Stop talking. It's hard for me to stop talking, y'all. I be talking all the time. I talk when I ain't supposed to be talking. That's bad.
I'm gonna go back to you to the story about your friend.
Okay.
I definitely want to jump into that. I want to dissect that a little bit because what were some things that transpired, and when did you learn that the people that you were dealing with were narcissistic?
Mm.
Because just a disclaimer, I feel like we throw that word around a lot.
We do, and I didn't know, honestly, y'all. I didn't know about. I know that's right. Don't say amen, amen, and amen. But honestly, it took me to remove myself out of the situation to actually think a little bit clearer. You know how you leave something, you can't really see something while you in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you leave it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is why this happened. And this is like, if you just sat down and just really think about everything, and you remove yourself, like I said, stop talking and be still, God will show you exactly what's going on. And it's in literally and truly, said person that was supposed to be my friend, y'all. How I even ended up in Florida. Me and my ex-husband, we bought a house together in 2021 in Mississippi. And it was actually, Mississippi is his home state.
Mm-hmm.
So we bought one in Hattiesburg, y'all. So when we bought a house in his home state, he kind of started feeling himself a little bit. He was stinking leg on the motherfucker. I'm talking about stinking leg, okay? He forgot who I was.
Okay.
Cause so I was, basically complaining to her about everything that was going on and just, and she opened her door. She was like, just come to Florida. Come. Mind you, she was 8 months pregnant, y'all. 8 months pregnant, and she was going through a rough time as well in her marriage as well. Her husband was a truck driver. I don't know what he does now because I don't have any communication with him. But he was a truck driver at the time, and he was never at home. They didn't speak. They didn't do anything. Like when I went there, they was very, very, very broken. It was a broken marriage. So I basically left one situation to another situation. One situation was mine, which I could have handled on my own. It was my environment. But I left my environment and jumped into her environment, which was already broken. And so, which in all honesty, in all honesty, it's really it wasn't good. It wasn't good for me or my kids because broken to another broken ain't it. So the way that they was moving was very calculated in the beginning. Like I didn't catch on to it until like the second month I was there. Like they was hiding food in their room. Yeah.
Tell the story.
They were hiding food in their room. Mind you, I had just moved to Florida, and the only thing I got is a little bitty old disability check that ain't nothing at the time. Thank you, Jesus, because God works, y'all. When I tell you He works, and so He had my back, baby, because somebody was praying for me. But when I tell y'all, it was days where I did not want to get out of my car. I wanted to sleep in my car because it was just so bad. Like the environment was nasty. She just was. She stopped being my friend. She stayed in her room. We didn't communicate. And I was trying to figure out what was going on with her. She had just had her baby. So I'm like, maybe it's postpartum depression. Maybe that's what it is here, So I'm like trying to hold on to her and trying to say, what's wrong? What's going on? And I'm like not knowing what's going on with her or I'm asking her, can you tell me, like, are we getting on your nerves? Do we need to leave? What's going on? Let me know, And she, no, it's my family. My family just pissed me off. It's my ex-husband. It's this is she never would basically communicate with me really what the real issue was.
Did you believe her?
I believed her.
You did?
I did.
Okay. All right.
My stupid ass believed her. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I believed her. Because before we moved in her house, and she would call me all the time complaining about the same thing. Her stepdad was, well, not her stepdad, her father-in-law was living there at the time. And she was complaining about how nasty he was, how he didn't help her with the kids, how he would stay gone and he had got a job. Like just really petty stuff that I didn't care for, but it bothered her. Don't know why it bothered her. This is a grown ass man. Why do we care about what he doing with his penis? I don't care. I don't care what he doing with Johnson. It's his business, right? But apparently she cared because she felt like he was living there for free, and then he was playing around and doing his own thing here and this, that, and the other. I mean, she complained about her husband's family all the time. So
it was easy to believe.
It was easy to believe. It was.
Do you think that just made you back down from the confrontation that you already didn't want to have?
I backed down from the confrontation on that only because I didn't want to put myself or my kids in a situation where we ended up later. We ended up. See, the thing is, let me tell y'all, God work in mysterious ways. I was already planning on moving out anyway. Had a house up and ready and everything, and she was like, "Oh, y'all need to leave. I'm gonna get to that part later." But y'all, it get juicy.
Okay.
It's a juicy story. I need to write a book. If I wrote a book, baby boy, baby girl, because anyway. So what was I saying?
You were saying that. Well, you said that you was gonna get back to that.
I'm gonna get back to us getting put out.
Right.
How I found out about
her husband.
Okay, so how I found out about the girl was even saying anything to me was because her sister approached me with a question, and I'm like, "Ma'am, how is she helping me when my kids are watching her kids? My kids was 17 and 16 at the time.
My kids y'all was helping each other.
Yes, we was helping each other, but technically,
you was doing more.
I was doing more. We was like slaves. She never got up out of her bed. I mean, I'm pretty sure if she got out of the bed now, I'd probably have a big ass dent in it because she never moved out of the bitch.
Did you just think
Let me stop being petty, but I'm so serious. I'm so serious. She never moved out of that motherfucker, only to go to the hospital and back. I swear to God, I don't even know if she washed her ass because she never moved out of the bed.
So basically, you just played small because you didn't want to jeopardize your living situation. You didn't want to put your kids in a situation.
Right.
Got you.
So I literally moved differently compared to how I would have moved back then. It taught me how to be, is resilient the right word?
Sure, if that's the word you're looking for.
I think it taught me how to be resilient. It taught me how to kind of like hold back on what I really wanted to say to her. Hold back on these hands because I wanted to bless her so bad.
So it gave you patience.
It definitely gave me patience.
Okay. So it built you.
It told me to strategize. Definitely.
Okay, got
definitely.
You still got a place where, so just endure scrutiny until you can do better.
Technically, yeah.
So I got you. Sometimes sometimes things work like that. So I definitely understand that. All right. So we get to the point where you're feeling off. You're feeling at odds. How many months in are we?
I want to say that was month. So we moved here September the 1st. Mm-hmm. And I want to say my kids. Okay. So my daughter. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. So, all 3 of my kids are there, y'all. The agreement that me and her made was we both were in school. I go to school in the daytime. My kids are at school in the daytime. She goes to school at nighttime. I watch the kids at night, and she picks up my daughter. My daughter at the time was 8. Literally, the school is like freaking 2 minutes up the road if you drive. It's like in the same neighborhood as the house. Mm-hmm. Literally. But I got calls every day from the office that my daughter was never being picked up on time. It was just, she was just so lazy getting out of the bed, or her husband, he worked and he didn't get off. He drove trucks locally. So he didn't get off of work until like 3 or 4 o'clock that morning. So he sleeps still. So I'm not really expecting him to go pick up my daughter when it was agreement between me and her that was made, you know. So, um, so I told my daughter there was literally a playground right next to the school. I was like, Elise, just stay right there at the playground for about 15, 20 minutes until I get there. Even though it was very dangerous, I would have never done something like that. I was just tired of the school calling me every day about, and it just looked bad. Because my kids went from a routine where I kept my kids like, we are a military family, so we always went by a schedule, always went by a routine. We went from that type of environment to dysfunction, where even more dysfunction, where they didn't go by a routine. Their kids did whatever, whenever they never went to sleep. That little baby never went to sleep. I was like, damn, do he go to sleep at all? It's like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the TV is blasting. And I'm like, bruh, do anybody go to sleep in this motherfucker? But anyway, so I had to work out something to where my daughter would wait for me to go pick her up. Okay. And I ended up sending my daughter to go. Her dad was getting pinned. He was moving to another. He got his E7 in Sergeant First Class, and he wanted my daughter to pin him. So she flew up there to see him, and she was like, Mom, can I just stay here until you get situated? And that was the hardest decision for me to make, because it was almost like I'm separating again from being in the military, separated from my kids, to another separation. So I was like, for her stability wise, it was best for her to be in her own quarters with her dad. You know, just in her own bed, in her own room, in her playing with her own toys, not arguing with somebody else about their toys, or just nonsense on top of nonsense. So that's one of the reasons. That's another reason I started looking at her differently. And that was in, I want to say, that was in October. That was in October of that year. Remember, we moved in September 1st. That was in October, y'all.
We a month in. So, I mean, here's the thing. So, you notice things fairly early. A lot of things stem from your back feeling like it was against the wall.
Yeah. And then I was trying to prove a point.
To
my ex. So, that's one of the reasons why I didn't go back.
Okay.
So, I stayed in the situation trying to prove a point. The situation
going back would have been worse than staying?
No. Actually, it probably would have been better.
Oh, okay.
It would have been better because I can actually control that environment on my own. Okay. You know, I was under somebody else's rules. I was under somebody else's house. I was in somebody else's hoopla of bullshit. Where we was all discombobulated. My kids were depressed. You know, we were in an environment we had no business in. And it was because I reacted off of emotions instead of being strategically routine about how to move to the next level with my kids.
So, how do you navigate that now? What is, besides strategy, what other things have you implicated into your life to understand when somebody is going down the path that you've seen with your ex-husband or your friend or anybody else that you've had these types of situations with?
You mean like what? How do I react off of
that? No, basically more like what kind of preventative measures have you implemented in your life to help you see that coming these days?
I definitely pay more attention to people. It's crazy you're asking me that because I was actually on the phone with some friends, and I was actually talking to one of my friends about actually not giving too many passes. Seeing the red flags right then and there instead of seeing the potential of a person. Are you dating potential right now, or are you actually getting the real individual? Are you quit looking past what's really in front of your face and look at that individual and say, can I see the rest of my life with somebody like this? Like I can't go off of potential.
I agree.
So I can't keep on giving people passes. It's eating me. When I give people passes at this big age, it tears away from my energy and it's disrupting my peace. And it's too hard to get peace, y'all. So I'm not gonna get that shit up easily.
Well, I like that for you, because that is a very different woman from the woman that I met. So
Sure.
like, because
we've had her.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, see it that way.
Yeah, and a lot of things I didn't see your head like.
Sure did.
And I meant that from the bottom of my heart, because it's a lot of things that I always tell you that when you look at a person, you can understand that they deserve better. I think just before we came on here, that's exactly what we were talking about. How if I call a person ugly, I'm not stating it to the fact that you're ugly because of your physical features.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're ugly because of the things that you choose to do to people. And it's a thing of where you date people who are very ugly people, literally. And I mean, in the manner, and I've seen it. I've seen the disrespect. I've seen I've seen multiple things, and thinking of the person that you are and how much you give and how big your heart is. And to me, this is a thing where people have a hard time of seeing themselves, and that's a me thing of, I always tell people, well, I'm a 360 mirror. Like, hey, you're not gonna miss one piece of you in here, because I got questions. I got questions for days. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, she does. I promise you, she does. She got questions for questions and questions on top of questions.
I do, because I want to get down to the bottom of it. I'm trying to pull out the root of something, because if we sit here and we dance around what the pattern that you've created, if you dance around, you never get anything done, and you keep falling into the same pattern.
It's the same cycle. Yeah. I was following the same. I think it was you that asked me, when are you going to stop allowing people to choose your destiny? When are you going to just make the choice on your own? Why do they have to choose?
Yeah, why do y'all be doing that?
It's like, why don't give him the opportunity to? But why are you doing that? Is it good for you? Is that good for you?
When you see it, and this is a thing of when I say people get their power away, because when you see something, and I mean you genuinely see it, you see a person, you see a pattern of a person. I'm not saying that every single time everybody just gotta go off of, oh, this just happened one time, oh, I better take that as a. No, see how many times it happened. And you can sit there and see how many times it happened in a conversation. I guarantee you, if you're talking on the phone with somebody in a conversation and you're talking to them and you keep seeing that this is something that they keep bringing up, something that they keep mentioning, this is probably something that they are prone to. This is something that they're going to do. So I really feel like it's a thing of where we really have to pay attention. Like you said, that's something that you've inputted into noticing people.
Because I used to just take people for who they was. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, well, I can see if I can dig it. I'm going to put that in my back pocket. And instead of stumping on that right then and there, I gave so many chances, man. I gave so many chances after chances. And I think that's I got that from my dad for sure. Because he's a very nice guy. Well, he was. Now he's old and bitter as fuck. Because he done gave too many chances. It done changed him. But I don't want to be that way. Mm-hmm. I want to be. Somebody told me to stop giving away my good years. And I've decided to listen.
Can I ask you how you define self-love and how it has played a role in your ability to heal yourself?
I'm still working on self-love.
Okay.
I'm still working on self-love, y'all. Desiree always be hitting me with questions I be having to think about. Oh my God.
That's the purpose.
Who wants to think about yourself all the time? But that's the thing. I don't do it enough.
Oh, shit.
Listen, this girl Desiree adds me, y'all. And if you go on my Instagram page, I put it on there. What make you happy? After damn blue. Like, why are you asking me what make me happy? Hell, I don't damn know. I'm trying to figure it out. I always put people before me. I put my kids before me. I put my marriage before me. I put my job, my career. I put all of that before me that I forgot what actually made me happy. Hmm. Y'all need to tell me what make y'all happy. I done found out what I'm doing, y'all. So I done fell in love back with what I used to. The old Chinna used to write. I used to sing. I used to love basketball. Like, very athletic person. I'm not that athletic now, y'all. Kind of out of shape. Overweight and out of shape.
You get in there. We're going to get back to it.
Don't worry. We getting there.
Put the work in.
We done went on this no meat journey, y'all. She killing me.
Me? I'm killing you.
No meat. This day 18 days, no meat. We doing it though.
Hello.
And then here go me, Miss Competitive. How about no vegan for the whole month of September? I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm down. Then I think about it. Did I just agree to that shit?
You did. Not only was she the one who she agreed to it, she brought it up.
I sure did.
She brought it up.
I sure did.
You mentioned it.
I didn't think she was gonna give me.
I didn't say we will do the whole month of September. I said we can miss one.
Okay, we missing one cheat day, which is September 1st. Because we're going to have to congratulate ourselves after this
shit.
No meat thing.
Yeah.
Y'all, this no meat thing is a thing. It is. It's a thing. When y'all be seeing, I be seeing my kids eat meat and I'm good juice, a good, you know, good.
I be seeing bacon. And you know what? It is crazy because this is what I was telling you earlier. Like, for me, it's not even a thing of like, it's not a thing of I can't do it. It's easy, but for me, it's the discipline of not always going out and getting something to eat, and you know, like that's just the easiest thing. And then like where I stay, they don't really got too many vegan options on DoorDash like that. So yeah, I'll be a little like.
This girl told me the best way to actually come up with recipes is just to substitute things for like what you already like and just take the meat out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been doing
so far, that's been really working for me.
Yeah. So
and my little friend group that I'm on, that I done found y'all, ain't shit because they be posting all type of food. Yeah, I said it. I said y'all ain't shit. Some of y'all on here, I see you.
Talking about some of y'all on here. Anyways, ain't none of y'all answered her question about what make y'all happy.
What makes you happy?
If you dare, put it in the comments. I want to ask you, since we did it, you want me to come back and revisit that question. What does a healthy relationship look like for you now?
Oh my God, being in your, listen, a healthy relationship starts off with the foundation of a friendship. Being the best of friends. You ain't got to jump right, and I had to learn it.
I like the way people develop. I love it.
Listen, y'all, I had to learn that I want the best friend in the booty. That's a win-win conversation for me.
Weak.
Best friend in the booty? You can't lose with the best friend in the booty.
I feel that.
I'm telling you.
I agree with that.
That's what I want. That's what a healthy relationship look like.
If the best friend in the booty.
The best friend in the booty.
Okay, now let me ask you this, because this is what I've been asking everybody lately, okay? This is one of my questions of the week. What is a non-physical form
she said
of
in the
intimacy?
Booty. I said and the booty.
Hey, she not with it.
She
said
tried
question mark.
And the booty, not in the booty.
I wanna love you in the butt, in the butt, in the butt. Y'all know that Marcy X movie? That's because that's what that's from. I don't know if y'all know that. But what is Dante Waters said, having peace makes me happy, and knowing that I have the opportunity to learn to be a better version of myself.
I know. Dope. I love that for you.
I like that.
Your peace is so hard to get, but once you get peace, baby, keep it. And don't let nobody change that peace for you, because once it's interrupted, it's hard to regain for sure.
Setting boundaries is when you become the villain. So
I just put something on Instagram about setting boundaries. And then, I think it was not K Michelle, but Michelle Williams that was saying that how nobody can say no.
Come on, girl. Give it to us.
But y'all, I believe she put on there like when you start setting boundaries, and you explain to somebody why you set their boundaries, and then they go off and start saying, oh, da 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 da, and you sitting back and you like, okay, so this is the reason why I set that boundary. Thank you for letting me know that I made the right decision.
Absolutely.
That's how you know that boundary was the right thing to do.
Because they're trying to use you. They're trying to get over you. But in a narcissistic relationship, that's what the fuck you would have been.
Exactly. That narcissism it cuts deep.
Hold
on.
Really does. So coming back, because Deontay came in, but I still got my question.
Okay, let's go.
I didn't forget it, and my memory is very bad. But not tonight.
Not tonight.
No, right? Okay.
She on me today, y'all.
I'm not. I'm really not. This is me taking it easy. And you gotta know that's true. Like, you have to
know. She
know
actually is taking it a little easier today.
You have to
know the other day
that I'm taking it. Because this is the thing of, I don't know how much you want to give. So I want you to still be comfortable and still be able to share your truth. I'm not here.
Because I'm kind of a private person.
Yeah.
But if I'm on this podcast, listen, Ling said,
go in.
Ling, we're going to bring your ass because Ling know from A to Z.
Nah, I just think that.
She know A to Z, baby.
When you talking to a person about some things that they've been through, everybody is not ready to talk about all things. Some people, so I think it's easier to just ease a person into it, to be aware of who they are. Yeah. And allow them to come from where they would like to. When I asked a certain question and you didn't keep going with it, I was kind of, oh, she don't want to talk about that. And so, like, to me, it's
Go ahead, re-ask it.
No, because this was way earlier. So this, like, not this one, but I'm about to ask you my question now. What are some non-physical forms of intimacy for you?
Oh, I like when a person can mind fuck me. Okay.
Intellect.
And very intellectual.
I got that.
Without touching. If you can get me there without touching, baby, I'm sold. If you can make me laugh without physically touching, I'm sold.
I like that. You like the way somebody minds. You know what they call that?
What they call it?
A sapiosexual.
Oh, sapio.
Absolutely. That's what they call it.
I didn't know that. Look, I learn some shit new every day.
Absolutely. That means that you are turned on by intellect. You are attracted to intellect, those types of things.
Definitely. So I like when a nigga working hard. So I like hard hands. I don't like soft hands.
You like a nigga with a hustle.
I like a nigga with a hustle.
Gosh. I like a hustler. I don't like a nigga with a hustler. A hustler. A hustler. And let me talk about. Not an ER, but with an A. But you talking about, like, no, none of that shit.
Cut it out.
I don't need none of that. Dante said, protect your energy by any means necessary. It's so important to cut ties with people who aren't right for you. And focus on yourself.
And see, that's what I forgot in my marriage, to focus on myself, child. I was holding on the energy that just wasn't good for nobody.
Why?
Because I was trying to keep the family together. Wow. Even though
you know what? Because I don't have any kids. I do not have children, so I can't see it from y'all perspective all the time. But even if I did have kids, I feel like I would still see it from this perspective, but I don't. So I can't say that for sure. So that's just me running down a rabbit hole.
You know what? It was also like looked at as, damn, if I get a divorce, would that be embarrassment? Because I've always like I don't want to be the laughing stock. I wanted to keep something together, even though I knew it was time to go. I knew it was been months, years and years ago, time to go. But fighting for
we
something,
give up too easy these days.
People do say that, and that's another reason why I was like not trying to be another statistic. I wanted to raise
fuck
my
that.
family.
I'm finna be a statistic. Fuck you, nigga. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Me and my kids is OUT, bitch, and you could catch us on the flip side. I wouldn't give, but that's always been my demeanor though.
And it still is. And
I don't even know. I wouldn't know how to be anything else. It would be like, oh, bitch, like literally, I go and be homeless before I like. I will sleep in a motherfucking. I have, and I had places to go. I was that crazy. It was the
But
nigga
see,
I was fucking with.
and that's the thing. When I chose to leave, I ended up leaving and going to somebody who I thought had my back that actually was stabbing me in the back the whole time, to her family, making me look one way when truly in real her family overlooked the fact that she has always been this person, and they was looking at me one way until I actually talked to her sister. And her sister was like, you know what? She's always been like this. She's always been that person. I don't know why we didn't think of this. So, and I'm like, how could she? How could she say certain things? How could she share certain things? And I didn't know cyberbullying was a real thing. Cyberbullying is really a real thing.
Because she did that to you.
She cyberbullied the fuck out of me and my kids.
Yeah. So.
Cyberbullied for months. After we left, she cyberbullied us. And it was like I had to put a letter of cease and desist. I had to go and get a restraining order on her just for her to stop. Like, it was just so bad. Like, I was just going through a divorce, going through other relationship turmoil, on top of losing a best friend. I was in a very depressed state. Very depressed state. I was losing weight improperly as well.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't talk about, or that a lot of people don't, let's say, acknowledge that losing a friendship can be just as devastating as losing an intimate relationship that you would
Most
have
definitely.
with a spouse.
I felt like I was definitely going through a funeral, 2 funerals. I felt like it was 2 funerals, a spouse and a best friend that I shared everything with. Mm-hmm. Everything. That knew everything about my children. I felt like I knew everything about her, but certain things that I found out after we were no longer friends came to the light, and I'm like, what? I didn't know this person at all. She lied and concocted up a lot of stories about her past, about her family, that she had her family thinking one way about me and had me thinking one way about her family. And it was just, she was playing us both, y'all. Playing us both. Like, I was mad at her family and didn't want to talk to them motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. And she had her family mad at me and I wanted to talk to me. It took her sister to pull me to the side and ask me some questions. And I'm like, why the fuck is a girl talking to me? Like, first of all, so I me, I ain't that dumb. I want to know why you talking to me like this. Like, why you asking me these questions? So me and her sister, and even though it was the sister that kind of pretty much snitched on her, I was grateful that she did. And actually, that happened in March. That happened March the 13th, y'all, 2023.
But you knew that bitch was off in October.
I knew something was off in October, but the stuff that she was saying.
That's probably why you start planning.
I started
to get out. All of that.
I started planning as soon as I got there, only because I'm my own woman and I don't like to be under nobody else's roof anyway.
I like that.
So I'm very independent. So thank God that I served in the military, because by me being a veteran, they really did help me, find places. They helped me with a lot of things financially. So when I moved down here, I didn't have it like that. And when I was introduced to certain things that helped me get my ratings up. I was actually boosted up in the company that I was working with, this Lane Bryant store. I was boosted up to an assistant, basically part-time key holder manager. I started, like, my life started kind of like flowing, started getting better. And the more my life got better, the more evil she got. And it was almost like jealousy on top of jealousy. She was opening up my mail. She, like I said, they would eat in front of my kids. They would eat and go get stuff, and I'm at work, and I'm like, okay, touche, bitch. So I would go, and we stopped cooking in that house, y'all. We didn't even go downstairs. We stayed in our rooms.
Dante said, real friends and family wouldn't laugh at you. They would support you by any means. We all have been hurt, but starting over is a blessing that God has given you another chance to get it right. I know that's right. Now, let me ask you, it's definitely based off of what he just asked, what advice would you give to someone currently going through a situation similar to yours?
I would say stay focused. Come up with goals, come up with a plan. Don't react off of emotions. Stay quiet and most definitely listen to your higher power, whether it's God that you're listening to, whether it's whatever giving you the energy and the motivation to keep going.
The universe,
right?
whatever.
Because you got to look at it look at it this way. It's a situation, true enough, but the situation is never permanent. It's temporary. So you have to give yourself grace to know that I used to feel like I failed. All out of all the accomplishments I made in my life, I was like, damn, I'm still not doing good enough. I'm still not making it. I'm still not where I want to be. I'm beating myself up, and I have accomplished a lot at 38 years old that a lot of people at their 50s and 60 years old say they can't say that they've done a lot of shit that I've done because, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace for sure. Don't beat yourself up. One foot at a time, one day at a time.
That's the same.
You got it. And be positive. Smile through the pain. I think that's another reason that motherfuckers was hating on me because you couldn't tell I was going through what I was going through at home. Mm-hmm. At work, I came, how I'm so bubbly now, I came just like bubbly at work, unless you cross me. Other than that, I was happy at work, but dying inside, for sure.
I get that. Seek help, y'all. That's what y'all need to do.
Yes.
Seek help.
And when she put us out, y'all, I had already had a house getting ready for us in like the next 4 days. So we stayed in the hotel for 4 days because I had money like that saved up.
Put it away.
Cool. Too easy. I didn't have to move, but the police was like, you don't have to move. Do you want, let me get my shit.
Now, Diz, how do you handle triggers that remind you of your past relationships?
Past relationships. What I'm working on now is to not even have a trigger button.
Destroy that bitch.
Destroy the trigger button.
What? A trigger? No, got those.
Bounce that off because you cannot define who I am off of my past. My past don't make the woman.
I feel that. So
your triggers, people use triggers as a reaction to do stupid shit or act a certain way because you did it, or I'm crying because you did it. Okay, you said what you said. I hear what you're saying. It is what it is. It does not make me or it does not define who I am today. Mm-hmm. So remove the trigger button.
Well, thank you so much, Chinna. I appreciate you for coming on here, sharing your story with us, telling us all about yourself. And before we leave, even through all of the things that you have been through, you still managed to, because it's something that I just want to put out there, because in a healing journey, it's not just about talking about things. It's actually about putting things into action. And to know that you wanted to better yourself. Mm-hmm. So getting into school, furthering your education, also starting your business and building yourself in those different ways. You built yourself in many ways, not just one, not just here, but to walk through those things and to get through those things and to become successful in schooling and also in your own business and having those things. What is that like?
I just thank God that, for me, it's not easy. It was not easy going through that, but I knew I had wanted to accomplish something. And then, you know what? My kids give me so much motivation because it's almost like I'm doing this because I want them to be able to have something to look back on and say, my mama killed that shit. Mm-hmm. Like, she went through this, but she did that.
Right.
Like, my mama, she is superwoman to me.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me going and keeps my motivation going. And I got to say, throughout this whole journey, I got more closer to God And I want to say that he really was the head of my life on all of this. You know, just being able to kind of like, being able to kind of like, you know, put him first before I even make a decision is where I've came in my life. Like, you know, before I just jump to something, take a step back and be like, is this the right thing to do? Let me sleep on this. Because I used to be the person to just go with the flow.
Right.
Now I'm like more, or now since I've gone through what I go through, I can actually tunnel vision on certain characteristics of an individual that I know that ain't good for me, and I'm like, I'm cutting them off. The energy ain't right.
Absolutely.
So,
Hindsight is 2020. I'm trying to tell you I could better your vision if you let me. What's up, Jay? How you feeling? How you feel?
God will definitely give you what you need.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Now, do you have any last words that you would like to give the people, that you would like to say to them?
I would say if y'all out here, you know, if anybody out there just, like I said, going through anything that I went through, or in something that you know that ain't good for you, or thinking about something that you see that this person got too many characteristics or too many flaws, God ain't gonna give you that intuition for no reason. Listen to yourself first.
I like that.
That's about it.
Well, I'm going to say thank you so much, Chinna. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
No problem.
Thank you so much for opening up, giving us a piece of you, sharing it from your perspective, giving people advice because of the things that you went through. They say that your storms will be your biggest testimonies.
That's so true.
So I think it's easy to just talk about something, but it's harder to put it into flourishing. And you have to find the discipline. You have to find the consistency to get through whatever it is that you're getting through. Even if it is doing what you had to do to get through your story, to make sure that you were strategically getting through the things that you needed to get through to build the life that you were trying to build. So, Deontay said, thanks for the beautiful message this evening.
No problem.
Jay said, the strong and wise will always prevail. Thank you guys so much. I want to leave you with this. Stand on business, bro. Like, y'all be out here wishy-washy to the motherfucker. Y'all be wanting the people to follow you. You be wanting the people to be in line with you. You be wanting people to do the things that you do, but you don't even know what you be doing. And I think that speaks to a lot of things that we have going on, because once you figure out the person that you are, you are able to stand on who you are and require that respect that you deserve, to put that worth into the world. Because stop playing small, first of all, because nothing enlightening about shrinking yourself so that other people won't feel insecure around you. So just remember that our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is your light, not your darkness, that most frightens you. We ask ourselves, who am I to be? Brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world.
No, it doesn't.
You were meant to shine, as children do. So you should do just that. Thank you so much for tuning into the Immersive Experience. We're here almost every Sunday and Thursday. Notice I said almost because I don't show up all the time, and I'm letting you know in the dough that I'm going to let you know when I don't show up.
I'll be there this Thursday for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to talking to you all this Thursday. And I definitely know what it's about. Jay, you have a great night as well. Thank you so much, Miss Cherokee. You're a beautiful spirit. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Key.
Beautiful spirit, sis. Meeting you and blessed that God aligned our paths.
I know. Key is amazing. I love Key.
Yes, okay, Miss Cherokee. That is good. I'm glad that y'all are making some great connections. Keep doing that. Y'all shop
Valet Centrals LLC. You can find me on Valet 8587. Come get these wonderful butters, periods.
Okay, skin like babies. Have a good night, you all. Thank you so much. And we'll see you Thursday.